Let us discuss on three schema architecture of DBMS. The goal of three schema architecture is to separate user application from the physical database. That is, the three schema architecture is designed to separate user views from how the data is physically or actually stored, making database flexible and easy to manage. As the name suggests, there are three levels. First, the internal level. This has an internal schema which describes the physical storage of the database. The internal schema uses physical data model and describes the complete details of data storage and access path of the database. That is, this describes how data is physically stored on the disk, includes file structure, indexes, and record formats. Second, the conceptual level. This level has a conceptual schema which describes the structure of the whole database for a community of users. The conceptual schema hides the details of physical storage structures and concentrates on describing entities, data types, relations, users, operations, and constraints. Usually, a representation model of data is used to describe the conceptual scheme when a database system is implemented. What this says is this level describes the structure of entire database like all tables, relationships, constraints, and hides the storage details from users. For example, a student table has columns like USN, name, branch, and semester. The third level is external or view level. This level includes a number of external schemas or user views. Each external schema describes the part of the database that a particular user group is interested and hides the rest of the database from that user group. That is, this external level define custom views of the database for different users. Each user sees only what they need. For example, a HOD sees columns like USN, name, attendance, whereas account sees USN, fees paid, and the student is only their data. This is a diagram where, as discussed earlier, external view, there are many end users, and each end user or external view has been mapped with a conceptual schema. And this conceptual schema has been mapped with the internal schema which contains the actual data. In DBMS, based on three schema architecture, each user group refers to its own external schema. Hence, the DBMS must transform a requested specified on external schema into a request against a conceptual schema and then into a request on internal schema for processing over the stored database. If a request in database is retrieval, the data extracted from a storage database must be reformatted to match the user's external view. This process of transforming request and results between levels are called mapping. What it states is in this diagram that end user, there are many end user, this end user is requesting a particular operation on the conceptual schema, and that operation may be data retrieval or writing into the data. If he requests data retrieval to the conceptual schema, this conceptual schema then transforms this request into the internal schema where the data is stored. Then the database is searched for that particular information, and when it is found, it then goes to the conceptual schema and returns the retrieved data. This then conceptual schema then returns the data to the external view and it is viewed by the end user. Thank you.